Thank you, Arthur. I will speak in English, and after I will share some pictures about about Timor-Leste. Why Timor-Leste? Because my presentation, I will say about popular education, science, and technology in Timor-Leste, contributions from Paulo Freire's pedagogy. First, I would like to thank you, Arthur, for the invitation. It's an honor to be here with Isabel and Bruno here in the seminar. So I am a white man, Brazilian, and professor in postgraduate program in education at the State University of Rio Grande do Norte in Brazil. Okay, so this presentation is the result of a research that I have been conducting in Timor-Leste since 2013. During this period, I had the privilege of living in the Asian country twice. I was a professor of Brazilian corporation in Timor-Leste between 2013 and 2015, when I worked together with the men's social movement of Timor-Leste. The name is Peasants Union of Ermera. In the development of the Solidariedade Lulu Institute of Economics curriculum. So I worked there to form the curriculum of that school. Also, I served as a professor at the Solidariedade Lulu Institute of Economics as part of the doctoral research conducted from 2017 to 2018. So I am going to present this work by dividing into 4 parts, starting with a brief history of Timor-Leste, speaking of Paulo Freire's influence on popular education in Timor-Leste, introducing the conception of science and technology defended here, and finally presenting the construction of the curriculum of the popular peasant university entitled Solidariedade Lulu Institute of Economics, as I said before. So the first part, Timor-Leste is the first democracy to form in the 21st century because the country restored its independence in 2002. About this, according to Noam Chomsky, Indonesia invaded the territory in December 1975, relying on us diplomatic support and arms used illegally, but with secret authorization from Washington. The same author, Noam Chomsky, again, still states that since the Indonesian invasion of December 1975, Timor-Leste has been the site of some of the worst atrocities of the modern era. Atrocities which are mounting again right now. During this process, as a form of resistance, the Timorese people used popular education as a weapon alongside the guerrilla war. With that, I start the second topic. Barbedo Magalhães and Judith Magalhães applied Paulo Freire's pedagogy through the book Pedagogy of the Oppressed in 1974 among the members of coordinating group for reformulation teaching in Timor. After the arrival of the work, Pedagogy of the Oppressed, in the East Timorese country, Freirean pedagogy was practiced by the Political Association Revolutionary Front of Independent East Timor. Now is a political party, aiming at raising awareness of the population linked to the literacy process, with the creation of the manual Rai Timor Raitanian, that means Timor-land, our land, translated from Tetum language to English language. Tetum language is official language in Timor-Leste beside the Portuguese language. The practice of this pedagogy was manifested through literacy process and the formation of popular health schools using the cultural practices of the people. For example, generative dams. After the Indonesian invasion, the Freirean pedagogy was practiced clandestinely and took place through popular education, characterized as a resistance, which culminated further in the restoration of independence. It's important to note that the Freirean pedagogy in Timor-Leste is entitled Pedagogy Malberi. Pedagogy Malberi is a pedagogy that use the ideas from Paulo Freire in Timor-Leste during the resistance against the Indonesian invasion. There was a rereading of Paulo Freire's theory adapted to the context of Timor-Leste. So in the third topic, to start the third part of this presentation, I will present the conception, I'm going to present the conception of science and technology defended here. I start here from the words of Boaventura de Souza Santos, in which the fight for global social justice must, therefore, also be a fight for global cognitive justice. To be successful, this struggle requires new thinking. This new thinking is entitled post-abyssal thinking. And this refers to knowledge dialogue. Thus, according to Freire, to Paulo Freire, by doing research, I educate, and I am educating myself with popular groups. This is the synthesis of knowledge dialogue. It says social technology is used here, which in a synthetic way, according to Dagnino. Dagnino is a professor in Unicamp, in Universidade de Campinas, of Campinas here in Brazil. It's possible to define technology, of course, according to Dagnino, that technology linked to the solidarity enterprise, cooperatives, which are characterized by the collective ownership of the means of production by the self-managed work process, not controlled by a boss. Social technology goes hand in hand with the solidarity economy. In Timor-Leste, solidarity economy can be understood as Fulidaida Islulu economy. Islulu is from Mambai language, and Fulidaida is from Macalero language. It's a local language there in Timor, because Timor is a small country, but it have a lot of languages. Okay. And this Fulidaida Islulu economy is used as the base of popular education linked to the peasant union of Ermera. Ermera is a municipality where born the social movement. Yeah. The terms Fulidaida and Islulu derive from Timorese indigenous solidarity, as I said before, about from Macalero language and Mambai language. Translating from Tetum to English language, serviço means serviço ramuto. Serviço ramuto in Tetum language means joint work, practiced collectively, in cooperation. Its way, education occupies a central place in the collective meaning of citizenship because it is built in the process of struggle that is itself an educational movement characterized as a collective pedagogy, according to Maria Paula Menezes. Thus, it's possible to think of the Fulidaida Islulu Institute of Economics as a popular peasant university, because it used this institute use the Fulidaida Islulu as a main term, a main concept. Is the essence of this school. The curricular construction process, which began in 2013, but underwent reformulations until the 2017, was only possible based on the understanding of how Ermera's peasants see reality, according to Freire, making necessary to demand from the understanding that the peasants are having it. Good. So I will share here a photo about to explain this technology system, Fulidaida Islulu. Fulidaida Islulu technology. It's sharing the, yeah, thank you, Arthur.
Yes,
thank you,
can see it.
Perfect. This is in the photograph, we can see in practice the Fulidaida Islulu technology, which refers to a biogeochemical system which has a chicken coop. This house is a chicken coop. This small house, of course, is a chicken coop, making the water in the pond extremely fertile for the community's organic agriculture. In this technology, the chicken feed falls into the water, feeding the fish as well. Chicken feed and feces make the water fertile. This is from popular knowledge. They, the peasants there from this movement, from UNAER, from Peasants Union of Armada, have make this kind of technology. This is social technology here in Brazil, but there in Timor-Leste is Fulidaida's Lulu technology. Thus, the last topic, I am going to present the formation of its popular university, whose essence is the dialogue of knowledge and social technology through the terms Fulidaidai and Zulu, and it's also the result of my actions in Timor-Leste. The idea of creating the school, this school, in the peasants of Armera, born from this idea, born from the peasants of Armera, yeah? From this movement, this social movement, but become part of the agenda of three institutions. At first, the non-governmental organization, Kadadalek Sulimutuk Institute. Sorry about the a lot of words in Teton language, yeah, but it is is a Timorese idea. So I need to say about these words, yeah, these terms. Kadadalek Sulimutuk Institute is a NGO. There is a local NGO there in Timor-Leste. And the Institute for another partner is the Institute for Peace and Conflict Studies Center at the National University of Timor-Leste. The main figure, the main people involved here from National University of Timor-Leste is Professor Antero Benedito da Silva. Yeah. Okay. In a second moment, starting in 2013, the demands become part of the agenda of the Brazilian Cooperation in Education in Timor-Leste. So, in that moment, I could work with a teacher in this cooperation. So I could work with the social movement in Timor-Leste. Okay. About my role there, I worked with culture circles. Yeah, this idea is from Paulo Freire too. Culture circles were used to build the curriculum according to Paulo Freire. Thus, the objective was the awareness that emerged from the lived world, in which the participants of the dialogue in the culture circles are not minority of aristocrats dedicated to speculation, but men and women of the people. As it is possible to see in this picture. This is the culture circles that I practiced with the peasants, in the young peasants in Timor-Leste. Okay, as a sense of its action, there is the dialogue with peasants. There are 4 demanding factors in the construction of the school. This demanding born in these culture circles. Okay. The demanding, the first demand, better management of solidarity establishment through the understanding and diffusion of local economic solidarity, and consequently, the second point, the second demand, the search for the development of local practices and technologies. So, again, the first demand from these peasants to build this school is better management of solidarity establishments, okay, using Fulidai's Lulu terms. In Latin America, we can say economia solidária, solidarity economy, development of local knowledge, mainly local technology to agriculture, of course, because they are peasants. The third point is land reform, and the fourth is meet the demand for specialized education from young people who did not have access to university, mainly because the municipality of Ermera has a mostly young population. Okay, so we have this curriculum. So the first name here is in Tetum language, and the second one is in English. In general, the content of the curriculum is a mix between stimulus and peasants' knowledge, besides some ideas from Paulo Freire, and agroecology practiced in Brazil by the Landless Rural Works Movement, Movimento dos Trabalhadores Rurais Sem Terra, MST, because they have a partnership because by the Via Campesina. An example is an example of a subject here. An example is the popular education subject. Yeah, it seeks to conceptually introduce this specific form of education, making a parallel with the Mulberry pedagogy relating to the technological practice performed daily by peasants linked to UNAER and to experience popular education outside Timor-Leste, as Florestan Fernandes National School from MST, Escola Nacional Florestan Fernandes. So, by Via Campesina, every year, two peasants from Timor-Leste came here to Brazil to study in national in Florestan Fernandes National School. So they use the popular education from Timor-Leste to understanding that process, and the popular education linked to agroecology here in Brazil, and agroecology from Timor-Leste too, because, for example, Fulidai Zulu, as I presented before, the Fulidai Zulu technology here, the first picture, yeah, in Timor-Leste. Okay. Another example.
Samuel, just let you know, if we are just running over of time now, I don't know how much more time you need, but just to flag this up to you.
Okay. Yeah, I am almost finishing here.
Great. Cool. Thank you.
It's, I think, 1 minute. Or 1 minute, I think. Another example is the organic fertilization subject. It works with social technology related to the fertilization process. It relates technical education from traditional agronomy course of the knowledge already practiced in daily life for the production and application of fertilizers. In subject, there is the influence of extension or communication, book from Paulo Freire too. Okay, to finish, thus a new and more intense relationship is developed with science and technology. It is the relationship between science and society that is at stake. Society stops being an object of science. Questioning should be itself the subject that question the science. Therefore, the present popular university is counter-hegemonic, linked to an epistemological resistance, considering that there is no global social justice without global cognitive justice. To finish, I will just present an idea here. Oh, trying to want to share this book. Finally, I'd like to present 2 books. Yeah, one book, of course, is better because the time. This book is in English. I am editor with Professor Antero and Professor Ilan. Professor Antero is from Timor-Leste. Professor Ilan is from Brazil. And in this book, we talk about popular education in Timor-Leste. It's free if you want. This book is free. If you want, I can share with you. This book was is from Brazil, but in English, and they have a lot of results from Australia, Timor-Leste, and Brazil that write about popular education in Timor-Leste. The preface was made by Dom Carlos Felipe Ximenes Belo. Is a Nobel Peace Prize, Timorese. He is from Timor too. So this is my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samuel, for presenting your work. I find it really fascinating what we managed to do and learn in Timor-Leste. It's such an immersive experience, first-hand knowledge that you gain from it. It's really, really fascinating. Thank you very much. I'd like to ask all the panelists whether they would like to jump in and ask questions, or I can also encourage other people to ask questions on the chat. Yeah. Any of the panelists? If I have a question, Samuel.
Okay.
I wasn't entirely clear, but I don't know if you really covered that or I missed it in the presentation. I think the points that you make about popular university being counter-hegemonic and it's a resistance against cognitive injustice. I think I gather what you're trying to say. And I found really fascinating the chicken coop that was in synergy with the lake too, that one feeding the other. That was really amazing. But does that scientific knowledge that you found in Timor-Leste, to what extent does it, if at all, it speaks to the traditional Eurocentric knowledge in terms of models, in terms of method? Is there any relationship? So, for instance, the way they conceptualize, the synergy between the lake and the chicken. I mean, is there anything that could be similar or the same, maybe, with the knowledge that we have in Western science?
Okay, yeah, they have traditional technology there and science there. So this idea, Fully Daidais Lulu, this Fully Daidais Lulu University, and to use a mix between modern science and local science, they say, yeah, local technology. So of course they use capitalist technology, yeah. Capitalist technology is built by big corporation, and the main objective is a profit. Objective is a profit. Social technology is built by popular knowledge itself, and may have horizontality with the knowledge of modern science. They use it. This is the question. I don't know if I understood the question. So, of course, they have the National University of Timor-Leste there. They use the modern science, this modern science, of course, but have a movement there to use the popular knowledge, the dialogue of knowledge. And this is the main people there is Antero Benedito da Silva, the professor. The main intellectual there is organic intellectual, like if we say according to Gramsci. So together the farm, the peasants, they have develop this kind of technology, this kind of science, different than traditional, because they understand, like MST here in Brazil, like some indigenous community here in Brazil too. I have worked with indigenous community here. The name is Catu, here in Rio Grande do Norte. They produce a lot of technologies, but this is social technology, and they use this technology born from the local knowledge and use it to, for example, to produce the agriculture or other kinds of local economy, for example. So yeah.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you very much. Can I also ask whether someone else would like to ask further questions to Samuel? I'm just conscious about time. Bruno, Anna, Haira, Isabel, or any other attendee. Right, okay, I'd like to thank you, Samuel, again for your presentation. Obviously, questions can come later sometimes, okay? But a round of applause to you again. You can hear everyone, giving a round of applause. Thank you very much again.